It was a combination of everything. This boy, when he came in, they didn't even give me his racing name. They just literally handed him over. And we called him Neo. He was 5. He'd finished racing at 5. He had a really good pedigree, and they'd used him. He'd finished racing because he'd broken his hock. They didn't get him any veterinary treatment. So he stayed in a kennel for 2 years while they used him as a stud dog. And the last 2 females that he was put to, shall we say, didn't fall pregnant. That was his use gone. So they didn't want him anymore. So they brought him here. He couldn't even stand on his hind leg. And I got into the vets. The vet said, let's give him a week. We know the injury happened 2 years ago. A week isn't going to make any difference because he needs to put some weight on. Because he was absolutely skin and bone. He was so sad. And we had him the full week, went into the vets. What she was going to do was neuter him, obviously. X-ray his hock, see what we could do. She said, you know, worst case could be amputation because there might not be anything more we could possibly do. She rang me and she said, I've X-rayed his hips, both of his hind legs. And she said his bad leg is really, really bad. We can't salvage that at all. But his good leg is just as bad. And she said he's got testicular cancer and it's spread into his bowel, his bladder, basically all of his stomach. So he had 7 days. And it was just like, it was all, he couldn't, he just stood and like looked round. He was, whether it was the pain, whether it was, I think, a bit of everything, you know, he just had a really shit time. And but you think, you know, they'd race that dog until he was 5, which is probably a year more than they normally do.
Yeah.
And then let's just exploit him a little bit more and we'll use him for 2 years. Even though he can't stand up on his hind leg, let's just exploit him a bit more.